Imagine a world where we avoid judging each other. Well, within the courtroom, where we typically say, "Yes, Your Honor," you likely agree that judging is necessary for criminal justice. When we have contests, whether it is Miss World, speech contest, America's Got Talent, still, you likely agree that judging is necessary to pick out the winners. But this kind of judging is hardly what I wish to talk about. My friend Mark fondly speaks of his dog. I really love Baxter. He never judges me. This kind of judging, in the connotation of what Mark's saying, is the kind of judging I'd like to talk about. Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, imagine a world where we avoid judging each other. Through my experiences, I've learned that whether someone's judging me or I'm judging them, judging each other hardly brings us together. Take, for instance, Tiffany, my girlfriend. She and I just started dating, and she was over at a friend's house for dinner. Her friends complimented on our relationship, so she said. But one person she didn't quite know well, a friend of her friend, said, "I hope he's not dating you for U.S. citizenship." Tiffany told me she promptly responded rather sarcastically that, "Oh no, in fact, I'm dating him for his Ugandan citizenship." Tiffany had my back. I felt really proud of her. But fellow Toastmasters, I felt the other person had in fact judged me. I guess she didn't even need to know me to judge me. What a great opportunity for me to realize that whether someone's judging me or I'm judging them, judging each other hardly brings us together. Now, have I judged other people? Maybe. I recently ran into an old friend of mine, Becky. I hadn't seen her in well over 8 months. We chose to sit on the nearby tree for some catching up. While we were at it, a black gentleman walked by, and he and I waved to each other. For a reason I only knew shortly after, he stopped, turned, and started to walk towards us. I whispered to Becky, "God, I hope he's not coming to ask for money, because I don't have any." So have I judged other people? Yes. And fellow Toastmasters, sadly, it was only because of the way he was dressed. "Is it okay if I talk to you guys for a minute?" he asked politely. We rose to our feet. We both shook his hand, and I said, "But of course, my brother." He then said, "This is what Dr. Martin Luther King struggled for." I'm really glad to see that his legacy still lives on. With an even bigger smile, he went on to say, "I really enjoy seeing black and white people together as you two are now." I smiled back and said, "Great respect for Martin." "Have a great day, you two," he said. Shaking his hand again, I said, "To you too, sir." Fellow Toastmasters, Becky and I shared a great moment of warmth and friendliness with a stranger. A stranger I had judged. Shouldn't I feel lucky he never got to know that? I guess I thought I knew everything in that book without even looking inside. And what a shame on my part. Yet another opportunity for me to realize that whether someone else is judging me or I'm judging them, judging each other hardly brings us together. Fellow Toastmasters, do you sometimes feel judged? How does that make you feel? Do you sometimes judge other people? How do you think that makes them feel? How so true I find it that whether someone's judging you or you are judging them, judging each other hardly brings us together. For in judging, we build walls around us that we certainly don't need. In my humble opinion, what I believe we need is a firm forest, one that stands together and grows together. Mr. Contest Chair.
Before we do anything, contestants, please write your name on your notepads. Please write your name on your note sheet so there's no confusion. At this time, Mr. Sergeant at Arms, would you be kind enough to escort our contestants into the anteroom? On your way past, would you grab that stopwatch from our backup timer so that you can record 5 minutes for them to work on their notes? That room right there. At this time, we have an opportunity to get to learn a little bit more about today's model speaker. Andrew, would you be kind enough to come forward? Andrew, the old imperialist Winston Churchill said something I've never forgotten. He referred to Uganda as the most beautiful pearl in all of Africa. I only learned you were from Uganda recently. What, in your opinion, what makes Uganda so beautiful?
Mr. Contest Chair, that is something that I luckily grew up hearing and knowing, and what it means for Uganda to be the pearl of Africa is the green that's abundant, and then the wildlife, nature, the beauty of nature down where I come from. So I believe that that's why we call it the pearl of Africa. It's because of the green, it's abundant, and the wildlife, tourism industry is very rich.
I know that you recently came back from a return home.
Yes.
Any specific impressions about your country from having been gone for at least a little while and returning back and taking a look you'd like to share?
I definitely, maybe the one thing that I was shocked that I experienced, that was after I got back to the United States, is that after being here 4 years, I thought that I was over with cultural shock. But when I got back, I actually got cultural shock. And I think it was because I was gone for a month. I've gone before for vacation in my country, but I've only gone 2 weeks every single one of those times I've gone. So this time around, I was gone for a month, and I got back, and everything looked very different. So I guess that's what I can say about that.
Do you recommend avid world travelers include Uganda in their travel itinerary?
Yes, if they do enjoy tourism and great hospitality, why not?
Why not indeed? To change the topic, I understand you are getting very close to completing your PhD.
Yes, I am.
Would you care to share what your PhD is on and what your experience of that has been?
You mean the field of study or the actual research?
Whichever. This is your forum. This is your audience.
Well, my major is civil engineering. That's what I'm getting my PhD in, and I've studied civil engineering all the way from undergrad to master's and now to PhD. And my specific study, the research, is in the field of retaining walls. I believe most of us know what retaining walls are, and what it is that I'm researching on is the fact that retaining walls do fail, they do crack and collapse, and that could be a major disaster. And so what we're looking at is the soil that puts the forces on the wall. We're trying to make it stronger to hold the wall by putting plastics we call geosynthetics into the fabric of the soil so that it's firmer and then can hold together. So I'm trying to research that. And it's very exciting, mostly because it's a very brand new area. Very, very little research is being done in that area, and so I find that exciting. But what I don't quite find exciting is the fact that I have to work 24/7. Sleep is very minimal, but since you've highlighted that I'm getting close close to finishing. I can't wait.
Well, as busy as you are, we appreciate you taking time. I do have another question with regards to that. After all the years' work you will have put into this, are you going to insist that we all refer to you as Dr. Kosozi after you get your PhD? Now, I'll tell you right up front, if I had done this, I would make my cat call me doctor. I'm curious what your thought is.
That is a very interesting question. I get that all the time. And something that I'm really glad to share with you all is that one of my major goals in life is to get to where many people haven't, but still remain as ordinary as I feel I am. So having said that, I do not intend to insist on people calling me doctor.
Okay,
Well,
Dr. K.
Proving two things, you're a wonderful and humble man, and you're a better man than me. Andrew, thank you so much for speaking with us today. While the contestants are being arranged, I just want to remind everybody that the winners of today's contestants will be representing us, not as it says amped, they will be representing Sierra Advanced Speakers in the Area 24 contest on Saturday, March 3rd. Now that's the first of the area contests out, the first of them out, so you'll have a chance very quickly to see that. Now, if you would take all except number 1, who is going out this way. Now, as a reminder, I don't think I mentioned this before, in contest we have a unique convention where we always announce each contestant's name twice. So please wait until you've heard their name the second time until you join me in raucous applause. Contestant number 1, Dwayne Landenberger. Contestant number 1, Dwayne Landenberger.